Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program. And before we set sail, the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development is wishing all of us the best of the Yuletide season. And the word from the Commissioner, talking about Dr. Oluyinka Olumide, and the Special Advisor on EGs, talking about Dr. Babatunde Olajide. They are wishing us well, and they want Lagosians to always think of safety at this time. Same for your experience if you want to be in the built environment. And they're urging all Lagosians to take full advantage of the amnesty program, which is still on right now, all through the end of the year, so that you can have your completed buildings well intact in terms of getting the planning permit approvals. All right, for more on this, you can always go to online. Of course, you can download the MPPUD app, and of course, you'll get a whole lot of information. All right, the MPPUD app, go there on the Play Store or perhaps on the App Store, download it, and then you'll be able to get a whole lot of information that relates to what you are doing. All right, so today on the program, planning and building regulations in Lagos, the district officer's remedy, and we're taking you all the way to Ayobo, Ipaja. Let me bring my guests to the microphone. They've been around for quite a while. Town planner Yewande Adebisi Hamed is here with me. She's an assistant director with the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and she's the district officer in charge of Ayobo, Ipaja. Nice to have you in the building, madam. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Lagos.
How was your journey here?
We thank God. We thank God.
It was a smooth drive.
Yeah. The road was relatively very, very free.
Beautiful. Okay, then. I have builder Williams Kolawole Abdul in the building as well. He's a builder with the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASPPPA, and he's the head of Ayobo, Ipaja District. Builder Williams, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
And you're welcome to Traffic Radio.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let me ask you about your studio experience. Let me start first with Temple and Yewande. Look to your left there. You see the cameras, right? What do you make of them? Good, right?
Good. Yeah,
okay.
Very nice one.
All right. And to you, Williams?
Yes, very good. We have the road network
right
across Lagos State.
Can you identify any place there on the screen?
I think I can identify Ipaja garage.
Okay.
Okay, that's the BRT corridor in Ipaja.
Of course, the BRT corridor at Ipaja.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yewande.
Right.
It's not Ayobo Ipaja Road.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Ayobo Ipaja Road.
It means you're not very familiar with this location, but it's all good. Maybe one of these days we can bring you in. You can come and report traffic, and then we'll go and do your job. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So let's start this morning. Town planner Yewande Adebisi. Let's jumpstart this conversation by dwelling first from the general to the particular, and in this case, let's talk about the amnesty program for completed buildings without planning permit. So, how is that campaign faring in Ayobo Ipaja?
Wow. In Ayobo Ipaja corridor, as in within Ayobo Ipaja district office, the amnesty program is really, really very good, and people has been responding. The volume of response is very, very high.
It's high?
It's very, very high.
Wow.
At least I have recorded over 150% response.
Since we started this?
The first phase was from 2nd of May to
end of July.
Then the second phase ended in October. Right. And the governor extended it till December 31st.
Right.
And people have been trooping in, and they've been applying, and we've been giving approvals. We've been granting approvals to them.
Beautiful. And Builder Williams, what about you? I mean, how's the experience been in terms of this amnesty?
Actually, the response has been quite commendable. We have a lot of influx that come in to get the planning permits, and the response has been quite okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So meaning that when they come to LASPPPA, after they get one or two things, they direct them to LASBCA as well?
Yes. When they come to LASBCA, we try to direct them to LASPPPA to go and get the planning permits. And those who actually has built up to roofing stage,
right?
Those are the ones that are actually qualified.
Okay.
Yes.
And you did say that this amnesty is expected to last till when?
till end of the month, 31st of December,
Right.
2024.
And that's if Mr. Governor doesn't extend it.
Yes, that's if it doesn't extend it.
And still dwelling with you, Town Planner Yewande, for those that are hearing about this now, what is required for people to benefit from this amnesty? For those who have not been able to do so, what do they need to do?
What they need to do is to come up with their drawings, architectural drawings and survey plan and title documents. That is those buildings that are built and in use. If you have roofed, the amnesty does not cover ongoing construction.
Okay, so if it's a new building,
if it is a new building,
it does not cover them.
It doesn't cover. If it is ongoing, if it's under construction, the amnesty does not cover them. But if it is roofed and it is in use already, then you still have the opportunity in the next 10 days. You can still come to my office to bring up your drawings and enjoy the amnesty so that the penal fee is waived.
So let's talk about that penal fee now, because we're saying amnesty. Does it mean that if I come to your office, I've been living in that building? I mean, it's been on since the building has been built since 1975, 1980. So if I come to your office, you're just going to say, "Oh, Mr. Victor, this is okay. You presented me this, so I just take your planning permit and we'll go." Or what is required? When you say penal fee, what are we talking about here?
Yes, thank you very much. Penalty fees, you are supposed to pay penal fees on existing buildings that is not covered with development permit. That is what we call building plan approval.
Okay.
But this amnesty period, the governor has waived the penal fee. The penal fee is supposed to be ×4 of what you are supposed to pay the initial payment. During this amnesty period, you are not entitled to pay the penalty fees. You just pay the statutory fees.
Okay.
And you collect your approval,
permit.
your planning permit, which most people know as building approval.
Bldr Williams, let's get to the structure itself, because I know there are lots of structures that have been built over years.
Yes.
Some of them are not built to standard. So does it really matter? You are the ones that go out to do the inspections.
Yes.
So those kind of buildings that already completed, people are living in it,
Yes.
but they're not really up to scratch, they're not up to standard. Will they also get planning permit approvals as well?
Those that are not up to standard, we try as much as possible to get them submit exactly the drawing. They submit the drawing, and we'll tell them to go to LASPPPA and then obtain the planning permits. Now the what's it called? The amnesty program means that the penal fee that will be given to them will be waived. Yeah, that's supposed to have been given to them will be waived,
right.
And then this encourages them to come in and then get the building plan approval.
So, but for you as the building agent as doing enforcement, how are they going to do corrective measures on this kind of buildings that are not standard?
We try as much as possible to bring them to standard by telling them the right thing to do.
Okay.
We'll tell them that those that are not conforming, we'll tell them that they would need to bring their approval, and we get the planning. They get a planning permit from LASPPPA.
Okay, and
Yes.
from there they can do the corrective things that is needed.
Exactly.
Let's talk about your direct responsibilities now. So, as district officers at Ayobo Ipaja, what are your primary responsibilities within that locality? Let me get back to you, Town Planner Yewande Ahmed.
As a district officer, my primary responsibilities are you take applications for development permits and grant approvals, building plan approval. We do sensitization program.
Okay.
As well, we do monitoring to make sure to ensure buildings are built to standard in collaboration with LASBCA. We investigate petitions and complaints.
Okay. Then you give approvals. What kind of structures do you give approvals?
You give approval to, we have what we call approval order that we use.
Okay.
We give approvals to applications that conform with the approval order guiding the areas you are bringing in your applications from.
So if I come to you and apply for an approval for a mall with 6 stories, can you give me approval for that?
If it is approvable on that corridor, if we have 6 floors on that corridor, we have different categories of approval. We have residential, we have institutional, we have commercial development approval, and we have what we call zoning. If your application conforms with the zoning,
Right.
then we grant approval for it. If it does not conform, we tell you to go and redesign and bring the application that conforms with the zoning of that area.
Right. All right. And Bldr Williams, you are the one as the head of the district office in Ayobo, Ipaja, right?
Yes.
What are your direct responsibilities?
We actually conduct stage inspection for approved building projects from LASPPPA. So actually, they will bring their building plan approval, and they will write for a letter for authorization to commence construction. Then, thereby, we try as much as possible to visit the site for inspection. The building must have been vacant. That the site must have been vacant before we can conduct stage inspection. Now, after writing, then we go and do the stage inspection from beginning to the end. That's from foundation up to finishing stage.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're always there to monitor whatever they're building.
Yes, we do that.
Let's talk about those locations now. For those who are not very familiar with Ayobo, Ipaja, let's talk about the communities that fall under your areas of supervision. Town planner Yewande Ahmed.
We have various communities under Ayobo, Ipaja. We have Baruwa, Fatade Road, Baruwa inside. When you go to Baruwa inside, you have so many estates. We have Kandoso Road, Fatade Road. That's the major road that leads you to Baruwa inside. We have New London. That's an estate. Okay. We have Progress Estate. Then when you are going to main Ipaja and its environs, you have Maji Yagbe, you have Amule, you have Ishokon Estates. Along that corridor, you have a major road that leads you inside Ayobo. Right. That's what we call it Camp Davis Road. From Camp Davis Road, you have communities like Ijon community. We have Igeshu.
Right.
We also have Aton. Then you have Peace Estates. Those are the communities and areas that falls within
your
the jurisdiction of Ayobo Ipaja district office.
What about command? Is that part of it?
No.
Okay.
Command is Agbado Kyodo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me come to Bldr Williams. Can I understand you superintend over 2 localities, right?
Yes, that's Ayobo Ipaja and Agbado Kyodo.
So talk to me. What communities fall under those 2 local governments?
Let me start from that's Ayobo. So actually we cover Baruwa and New London. Then we cover from Kandos.
Okay.
Yes. Then Ashikpa Camp.
Okay, so all those areas you mentioned.
Then the Shefun, yes, all those areas you mentioned, as well as Abiola Farm.
Okay.
Maji Agbe.
Right.
Yes. Then from Agbado Kyodo, we cover Aburu. Yes, Abulegba from that's Yanopaja, from Yanopaja up to Tollgate.
Right.
That's on the left. And we also share boundaries with Agege.
Right.
Yes. Then on the right hand side, we have Agege.
Oh.
Yes. Then on the left side, going towards the Tollgate, then we have Agbado going straight down to Tollgate.
From what you said now, it means your area of coverage must be very, very large, so to say.
Yeah, it is large.
Right. Okay, so we've spoken with some other district officers on this program, and I know that some places are already built. A place like Ikeja, you might not find some new structures except for those that have been demolished and then rebuilt. How would you describe it? Town planner Yewande in Ayobo Ipaja, is it already a built environment or?
No, Ayobo Ipaja is a developing area.
Okay, so
but we have areas like main core Ipaja. Those ones are fully built. Baruwa is fully built. But when you go inside, like towards inside Abiola Farms, Ashikpa, we have developing area.
Right. So you have so many developing areas in those under your supervision.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let's talk about the planning process now. So for those who want to really, really pick up a planning permit approval under the Ayobo Ipaja, what's the process? What does it take?
The first thing you need to do is to bring your survey plan. When you bring your survey plan, we chart it and we guide you. We advise you.
Go ahead. Yes.
What you can do with on the corridor. We advise you what it can accommodate. If it is a residential building, we advise you on the number of floors you can go. That is the height you can go. We advise you on the number of units. Then you bring your title documents, your architectural drawings. If it is an as-built application, you need to bring a letter of structural stability from a current registered engineer. And if it is a proposed building, you need a structural drawing. If it exceeds 3 floors, you need additional drawings. We need mechanical drawings and electrical drawings.
Right.
If you are doing a commercial development, all application requires LASPPPA. If you are doing the commercial developments, you might need to.
So commercial, by commercial, we're talking about like what? Restaurants?
Like anything outside residential development is either categorized under commercial or institutional development. So then you might need, you will need a PPTR.
Okay. Fiscal
planning technical reports. You need that one. And if we have special applications, you have some clearance special applications like petrol filling stations, gas plants. You have some. You need to take some clearances from other NDAs.
Okay. So those kind of plans, because a lot of times we see a particular structure was here before, and all of a sudden it has been bought over by somebody else, and it has now been turned to a filling station. So what's the consideration for those kind of applications? Or is it right for you to have those kind of structures like a filling station within areas where people live, so to say?
And that is, as I earlier said, you have highways and major corridors. That is the stretch of from Ipaja to Ipaja. That is a long stretch, and the corridor is zoned for commercial use. So on the highway, you can have a gas plant, you can have a petrol filling station on highways. So it's permissible there.
Okay, but not inside the estate?
No.
All right. What about you, Bldr Williams?
Yes.
How do you guys do your own enforcement in this kind of regard?
Actually, building that does not conform with the approval, we try as much as possible to serve them contravention notices, and we try to enforce by making them to comply with the original planning permit that they have. Now, if they don't comply, we try as much as possible to invite enforcement from headquarters to come, and then we bring them to compliance.
Okay. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on the program, we're talking planning and building regulations in Lagos, the district officers' remedy, and our district officers in the building. Town planner Yewande Adebisi Ahmed is here. She's the one in charge of Ayobo Ipaja. That's the district office. And also our Bldr Williams Kolawole Abdul, who's the one who's also in charge of Ayobo from LASBCA. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, it'll be time to hear from you. You also want to probably have an interaction with them in the studios. Feel free, 09153 877127. That's 09153 877127. And you can send messages on 08099 120777. A brief break, we'll be back.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling, or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program, and I have town planner Yewande Ahmed in the building. Williams, that's Bldr Williams, Kolawole Abdul also here. And we have a call already. Let's see if we can take that call right away. Hello there, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
My name is John.
John, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ipaja.
All right. Oh, good. So we're talking about your corridor this morning.
Yeah, I just want to find out where the district office is for the Ayobo Ipaja axis.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll respond to you, okay?
Okay. All right.
So let's get to that right away. John wants to find out where your district offices are. Let's start first with town planner Yewande. Where's your office?
Our office is located inside Abeson Housing Estate. Opposite Abeson Central Mosque, Jakonde Estate, Abeson.
Right.
That's the town planning office there.
Right. And Bldr Williams, where's your own office?
My office is located at along Ipaja Ayobo Road, Moshalachi bus stop. That's the second roundabout to Yanokwaja. Alighting from the bridge, the second roundabout to Yanokwaja, our office is just on the right at the roundabout in Abeson.
Okay. That's where the office is.
Yes.
You must have two offices since you also supervise Agbado.
Actually, it's just only one office.
Oh, that controls both of them.
Both of them.
All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM 08099120777. Quick report from Yanokwaja and Egbeda corridor this morning. Still having it pretty fine within the area of coverage. Movement from Alagba inwards Yanokwaja roundabout. Very fine at this time. From there towards Barua Junction, proceeding through Moshalachi roundabout to Abeson Gate is also looking good. Vehicular flow on Abeokuta Expressway from Araromi inwards areas like Danko is still very fine too, while the return journey inwards Araromi is free for now, though with a fluctuating vehicular flow. That's what we find right now. Structure very much intact, with men strategically positioned to maintain sanity whilst averting possibility of slow movement. All right, then, so no impediment cited within the Yanokwaja corridor. So those of you who are there, you can also talk to us as we reflect on the building process within the Ayobo Ipaja corridor. If you have any questions for my guests, feel free, 08099120777 and 09153877127. That's the number that you can call. This one says, good morning, Victor and our town planners. What are the unique challenges faced by the Ayobo Ipaja district in enforcing planning and building regulations? Kadijat is sending that one in. So, any major challenges that you guys are facing? Let me start with Bldr Williams.
Actually, the major challenges we are facing, when you visit the site for conformity and you try to serve notices, we have this issue of facing all these hoodlums.
The Omoniles
area boys. So it's one of the major problems that we have been trying to tackle. And you can see some of our boys, our officers, are being harassed.
Wow.
While trying to do their duty. And it's quite unfortunate that somebody are even beaten.
Wow.
Beaten to coma at times.
That's serious.
We have been trying to cope with that, and I think very soon that
will be solved as well.
Solved, yes.
Tampana, Yewande, what are your own challenges?
Same thing goes. The challenges we face majorly is the Omoniles. In our own case, most of the time, when you do site visitation, most of the time the owner of the property or the representative of the owners of the properties are always around. So the harassment is there, but it's minimal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a major one indeed. If they have to be harassing your people, that means probably there will be times that you guys will have to go around with security personnel. Maybe, but that's a thing of probably policy and all of that. But another message here says, "Good morning, Traffic Radio. What specific strategies have been implemented in Ayobo Ipaja to improve compliance?" Any major strategies, Bldr Williams?
We majorly through enforcement. We usually enforce non-compliance sites by after having serving all the required notices. We actually give them time to respond. So those that does not respond within the next 48 hours, we go in. If it needs backing by the police, that from the central enforcement, we try as well to invite them and we enforce to put them to compliance.
When you see buildings that are very, very bad, dilapidated, what do you do instantly as the one in charge of enforcement?
We try as much as possible to serve notices as well. If it is a very intense one, we try as much as possible to serve notices. If it is in use, we serve notices and we try to evict the occupiers of the building, so that we can actually seal and then do the needful.
Have you had situations where people take off the seal?
Yes, they do. They do. It's not sketchy. We try to enforce seriously. We do serious enforcement because the essence is just to save lives. We can't be looking at the building. There was an instance whereby we had a whistleblower that gave us a distressed building somewhere in Agbele, and we have to quickly go move there. We have to serve the notices instantly, and then evict most of the occupants there.
Wow.
Yes, in order to avert collapse.
All right. This one says, compliments of the season. Kudos to the town planners in the building. My question is, how does the agency deal with cases of resistance from developers or landowners? Mrs. Ibukun is sending that one in. I think it's something you just talked about right now. So how do you guys deal with that? Resistance from owners? Let's start with town planner Yewande.
It's basically through monitoring and enforcement. If they resist, at my own level, I will escalate it to the headquarters.
Okay.
So, and from there,
they will take it up.
They will take it up from there.
All right. And for you, Bldr Williams?
It's still the same process. We let them be aware that what we're after is their lives.
Right.
We save lives through enforcement. Now, if we have developers that are not conforming and it kind of resist from doing the actual thing, we enforce through the same process.
Right. All right. That's an anonymous texter here. I would have loved it if you put your name. It says, good morning. The amnesty covers what aspects of the approval? All right. This will go to town planner Yewande.
The amnesty covers all levels of approvals. All levels.
Okay. So,
be it commercial, residential, institutional, all levels of approvals.
As long as you completed that building,
yes,
or that structure.
On that structure, yes.
Right.
It covers all levels of approval.
So if I have a filling station in Ayobo and I never got the planning permit, that means it will also be waived for me, the penalty fee?
Yes, the penalty fee will be waived. And it will be processed to approval if it conforms with the regulations. Yeah.
So conforming to regulation means that what?
If the amnesty does not say you have to approve unapproved viable buildings.
Okay.
Do you understand? When you come during this amnesty, we give approvals to buildings that are approvable.
Okay.
You can't bring a filling station that is not approvable because of amnesty and you say we should approve. We won't do that. Yeah.
So when you say a filling station that is not approved, meaning that it's built in a residential place, or how would you know which one is not approvable?
If the size, the area of the land, if the land area is quite
too small
and is unreasonable, we have minimum size area for land for filling station and special applications. If you now build a filling station with 1 or 2 pumps on an half plot or less than 400 square meters, and you are bringing in for during amnesty for approval, we won't grant approval to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot indeed. All right, then 08099120777, 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can call. You talk about the challenges faced by district officers in enforcing the planning regulations. Let's talk about the kind of engagement. Do you have engagements at all with the developers and the landowners, Bldr Williams?
Yes, we do. Actually, in August 15th to be precise, we had the stakeholder engagement with the stakeholders in the built environment, whereby we invite all the professionals, including the artisans. Even the ballers, we also invite them. We had meetings with them at the events. It took place at Balmora, within Sheraton, and we actually made them to realize that it is good to get the building approved.
Oh, okay. So
and stage as well. Yes.
All right. This one says, "Hello, Traffic Radio. What steps are being taken to make the permit application process more efficient?" Jeff is sending that one in. All right. That's for town planner Yewande. So what steps?
The permit application process is a seamless process. If you bring in your applications and all the documents are complete, within 10 working days, your approval will be ready and you clear your tax.
All right. 10 working days?
Yes, it's a seamless process.
And so, what could delay that? I mean, what could make it more than 10 days?
What could make it more than 10 days is if your documents are not complete and if your tax is not cleared from LRS.
Right.
So you have to clear your tax before you can collect your approval.
Right.
But all the processes will be completed within 10 days.
Right.
The approval process will be completed within 10 days.
Right.
10 working days.
All right. So the same texter who sent in the message on amnesty cover, and I was asking, what does the amnesty cover, is replying. You didn't put your name as well. Please, I would love it if you can put your name. Says, so is it only the penalty that the amnesty is meant for?
It is only the penalty that is waived. All other statutory fees has to be paid.
Okay.
It is only the penalty that is waived.
So all others
statutory fees must be paid. Remains.
Okay. Let's begin to round this up right now, even as we head closer to the finish line this morning. So, what's the message, Bldr Williams, for those who are within the Ayobo, the Ipaja, the Agbado, all those corridors where you superintend? What's the message to them at this time?
Yes, thank you very much. I want to encourage developers to kind of get building approved, get the planning permits, and get the authorization, because authorization simply means that you need to write a formal letter to the Lagos State Building Control Agency, and we will now request for your documents to be submitted. Part of the document includes the Bldr's document.
Right.
Also include the drawing. After you must have gotten your approval, you submit your approved building plan.
Right.
Then the drawing as well. Then you submit the soil investigation reports.
Okay. So all those things are required.
All those things are required. Then we now inspect your building from inception to finishing. Okay.
So anybody that wants to build, at every point in time, they must get in touch with you, right?
Yes.
As they are building.
Yes.
Okay. And your final thoughts this morning, Town Planner Yewande Ahmed?
I would advise anybody that wants to build to first of all make a search of the land you intend to develop. Then after that, if the land is okay, you always come for your development permits before you move to sites. And after granting your development permits, you move on to LASBCA for stage certification.
Right.
So that if you go through all the building processes, you collect certificates of habitation after the completion of your building. Thank you.
Nice having you both of you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so I have been speaking with two great minds in the build environment as we're reflecting on planning and building regulations in Lagos, the district officer's remedy. And I've had in the studio town planner Yewande Adebisi Ahmed. She is assistant director with LASPPPA, that's the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and she's the district officer in charge of Ayobo Ipaja. Same for Builder Williams Kolawole Abdul, who is the builder with LASBCA, that's the Lagos State Building Control Agency, and he's also the head of Ayobo Ipaja District Office. All right, so our discussion through Ipaja Ayobo this morning has been very, very fruitful, and I can trust that the information that you've gotten on this program, you make maximum use of it, especially now that the amnesty program is drawing to an end. We have to go. The program this morning has been produced by Mike James, and I say a big thank you to Akinsonya Adetola, who's Chief Public Affairs Officer for the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Same for Sanusi, who is the director in charge. That's Sanusi Mukaila. Abimbola Ume is director with LASPPPA. She's around as well. Big shout out to you as you make this program possible week in, week out. Joanne Irabo in the building, and Afe John is also Afe John's of our social media unit. Same for Okpa Emishorunke. And our executive producer, as always, is Tayo Akonle. Maximum thanks to him and to all of you out there. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great day. Bye.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estates and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.